Hi, you guys.
Hi everyone.
So we'll wait a minute, let some people join in before we get going. They have to be in the thing, yeah? So we're just going to wait a minute while some friends join in before we dive into this Q&A with Shalin.
Meditation myths busted.
Meditation myths
Yeah.
busted. Here we go. Hi guys, so I'll start out with a little introduction. My name is Kelsey. I am here tonight with my friend Shalin, who is a father, a husband, an industrial engineer, tireless worker in all the ways. He is an international instructor with the Art of Living. He travels mostly around North America leading courses within groups, corporations, just whoever is ready to learn more about meditation. Shalin's there. He's also the director of volunteer training with the Art of Living, an organization he's been active with for over 21 years, meditating.
That's right. Yes.
And it's just had such a huge impact on his life that he goes and shares it with everybody. So we have been collecting some questions. We asked you guys to send in some questions about meditation, any Q&A you might have, and so we're going to go over some of those tonight.
Sounds like a plan.
The first question, and I hear this a lot as well from friends and folks I talk to about meditation. Why do I need to meditate? Is it really necessary? My life is so busy as it is. I don't really have time to meditate.
Dude, that's a good question. And if you have asked that question, there's something within you which has intrigued you about meditation. Otherwise, you would not have bothered asking this question. You know, I'm yet to meet a person who doesn't think he has got too many things on his plate and too little time to do things. And in fact, we are on the go all the time. We are running. Either, we are busy at work. Once you get home, we're busy at home. So all the time, our life is such nowadays that we're on the go all the time. And even the funny thing is, even when we are sitting idle, it's not like we're just sitting idle. Our mind is running all the time. You may be having some downtime, just sitting, not doing much. But when you're sitting on a chair, your mind keeps running, something that may have happened in the past, or you're doing some planning for the future. So the mind is on the go all the time. You know, the founder of the Art of Living, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, he very beautifully says, that, meditation is this art of doing nothing. And how often do we do nothing? Because, even when you're sitting, you think we're doing nothing, but our mind is running. And how do we make our mind do nothing? Because we're trained that way, that anything we do, we have to put efforts, we have to work at it. And how to reach that state of just being. One of our, I'll share a funny story. So one of the students, meditation student, goes to his meditation teacher and says, teacher, I want to learn meditation, and if I meditate diligently every day, how long it will take for me to get enlightened? And the master looks at him, the teacher looks at him and says, if you meditate diligently every day, I think it will take you around 10 years to get enlightened. So then the student says, what if I, really work hard at it? If I double my effort in my meditation, how long it will take? The teacher looks at him and smiles and says, then it will take you 20 years. So, that's what it is. Our mind is such, we're all the time putting efforts. How to make a stop, how to stop that running mind. That's a very beautiful skill to have, to not do anything, to do nothing. And that is what the meditation gives you. Only when you're able to get that deep rest, you're able to go out and function fully in the outside world. If you want to build a tall skyscraper, you have to have a strong foundation. If you want to shoot like a bow from an arrow, and if you want the arrow to go all the way out, you really have to pull the bow back in the arrow. The more further you pull it back, the further out it will go. Same thing with the mind. When you take this 20 minutes out every day to just relax and just not do anything, drop all the activities, not just outside, even the mental activities, you're able to really go out and function fully outside and do amazing things. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that today I'm very busy, I cannot meditate for 1 hour, I have to meditate for 2 hours. So the busier you are, the more is the need for meditation. In fact, meditation is for busy people. Yeah, the way I see it.
That's true.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
The busier you are, the more you need
Exactly,
it.
right?
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Shalin.
Yeah.
The second question, I am happy with my life. How can meditation serve me?
It's like iPhones. Before iPhones came, people were happy with their flip phones. But once now you see the smartphones have become indispensable parts of our lives. And that's how I see meditation. That's how I feel the meditation practice is for me. I learned meditation at a very early age. There's something in me that I was not facing any distress or anything, but I just learned meditation. And now I cannot see my daily routine without my daily meditation practice. It brings such energy in you that energy, that drive to take the challenges that life might throw at you. I always, when I did the meditation at that time, I had a lot of goals, desires, things that I wanted to accomplish. And what this practice has done for me, my daily meditation practice, is that it has given me the energy, the drive, yet at the same time, it has given that harmony from within. That when I'm going out doing things, it's not like that feverishness, those things don't come up. It flows with the harmony.
Yeah.
I'll share another story that once this young guy, he's a martial arts student. He is working with his teacher. Very dedicated, very diligent student, very hardworking guy, and he's practicing every day. And one day his teacher asks him that, why don't you go and practice along with other people who are also practicing martial arts. So this young fellow goes there and is working with them, and as he's doing his thing, he's somewhat off his game because he's looking around, seeing what others are doing and what how others are practicing, and then he's thinking, are those people looking at me, or he's thinking, this guy is really good, I don't think I can be as good as this guy. So his mind is distracted, and because of that, he's not able to do it how he usually would do. So his teacher is looking at it, and he's seeing that he's not fully executing his moves the way he should be doing it. So he goes to this young guy and taps on his shoulder and says, so what's going on? And this guy is like, I don't know, I'm not able to fully execute my moves how I usually do. Something is off. So the teacher says, okay, let's go for a walk. So he takes this young guy for a walk, and they walk few minutes, and there's a water stream that this guys go to, and the teacher and the student just both stand there watching the water. And after a few moments of silence, the teacher turns to the young guy and says, do you see how the water is flowing over the rocks? And this guy's like, yeah, I've been watching them. The teacher says, when the water is flowing over the rocks, it is not smashing into the rocks out of frustration. We're not slamming into the rocks out of frustration. It is just moving past it. It is flowing. The water is flowing over the rocks, around the rocks, and it's just moving past it with harmony, in harmony. And that is the beauty of having harmony in your life. Life throws curveballs at us. Life will throw challenges at us. And that skill to take on those challenges, to take on those curveballs with the harmonious state of mind, that is what meditation does. Yeah, that's what it's. That gives you that energy at the same time, have that harmony within. It's a very beautiful combination. Yeah.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. So, I've been meditating. I started with Sudarshan Kriya 6.5 years ago,
Oh,
almost 7 years ago.
Wow.
So, I did that for maybe a year or so before I did Sahaj. And I remember coming to you, we see each other often, and you asked me how I was one day, and I said, I've been getting these really bad migraines. Do you remember this?
Yeah, yes,
And I was getting migraines almost regularly, and like almost, every 2-3 months. Crippling migraines. I had to stay inside in the dark. And you said you should do Sahaj. And I thought, like, I already do Kriya. What's the point in doing? Why do I need to add another thing? But then I did Sahaj, and my migraines disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know I've been, so I'm a yoga teacher, and I own a yoga studio. And this month, this weekend, we're expanding, adding a second room, and so I've been very busy this month with hardly time to eat, and it's been harder to sit down and do my kriyas, my sahaj, and I notice it. I notice that difference, and that kind of segues into this next question, actually, because the person says, I've dabbled in meditation. It was okay. Most of the times I still had thoughts running through my mind. I didn't see any white space, so does it work? And I can relate to this because right now I sit and I still have those lists of don't forget to pick this up at IKEA and you've got to run to Lowe's. But if I don't sit, then I don't even create those lists. Then I'm going 6 trips to IKEA and 8 trips to Lowe's. So the question, I'll repeat it, was I've dabbled in it. It was okay. Most of the times I still had thoughts running through my mind. I didn't see any white space, so does it work?
You'd be surprised how many times people ask, I'm sitting for meditation and I get a lot of thoughts. What do I do with my thoughts? And so let's do a short exercise. So wherever you're sitting, let's just sit with our eyes closed. We'll do it for 2 or 3 minutes. We'll just sit with our eyes closed. And as you close your eyes, just imagine to your left there's a basket, and in that basket all the thoughts that you might get about the past, you're putting it in that basket. To your front there's another basket, and any thoughts about the present moment, this very present, you're putting it in that basket. And to your right you're having another basket, and any thoughts pertaining to your future, like about planning or anything about future, you're putting it in that basket. So we'll just sit with our eyes closed, observe our thoughts, and just keep putting the thoughts in the correct basket. We'll just do it for a minute or two. I'll let you know when to open your eyes. Anything about the past to your left, present to the front, and future to the right. Slowly and gradually, let's open our eyes. So, did you observe after some time the frequency of thoughts went down? The number of thoughts you're getting kind of phased out a bit. See, that's a skill. It's not about meditation. Is not about not having any thoughts. It's about becoming aware. And when the awareness comes, naturally those thoughts will flow out, will, you know, go down. And that's why in the art of living, we teach this very effective meditation technique. It's called the Sahaj Samadhi meditation technique. And it's such a powerful technique. You know, the masters of the Vedic tradition discovered thousands of years ago that there are certain sounds called mantras. When used in a certain way, it allows you to go much deeper into your, into yourself without making much effort. And there are different states of our consciousness. The first one is the awake. When you're awake right now, like for example, when you're awake, your mind is alert. You're listening to what I'm saying. But when you're awake for a long time, when you're like awake for 16, 17 hours, you get tired, and body needs rest. So when you're awake, your mind is alert, but your body gets tired, it needs rest. And the opposite of that is sleep. In the sleep, your body is resting, but your mind is not active. It's not alert. If you say, I had such a good night's sleep, I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything, nothing. Because your mind is not alert. So when you're awake, your mind is alert, body is not rested. During sleep, your body is rested, but the mind is not alert. And meditation is a very unique state of consciousness, where your mind is alert, at the same time you get such deep rest. 20 minutes, just say 20 minutes of deep meditation, you get so much rest. It's like equivalent of getting 3 to 4 hours of deep sleep. And that's how powerful meditation is. And this coming weekend in the US, we are having this Sahaj Samadhi meditation course all over the country. And they're going to be taught by none other than Bhanumati Narasimhan. So she goes by Bhanu. She's first of all, she's sister of the Art of Living Foundation founder Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji, and she travels around the globe and teaches his workshops. She's taught hundreds of thousands of people in more than 100 countries, and she actually trains meditation instructors. So we are very fortunate to have her here in the US this time, and next weekend she'll be facilitating these courses all around the country. So I would highly recommend go. It's an honor to be able to be part of this workshop, especially when she's teaching. So go for it. We'll talk more about it also.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this next question, actually, I kind of mentioned it in my own experience. Why Sahaj Samadhi, and how is it different from the Sudarshan Kriya?
Yes, good question.
So I already kind of told my own experience of that.
That's true.
But
I think meditation, the Sahaj Samadhi meditation really complements the Sudarshan Kriya practice. At the end of the Kriya, if you observe, the mind is naturally in a meditative state of mind. Yeah. And then when you do your Sahaj Samadhi meditation, it really takes you to the next level. As I mentioned, earlier, in the Sahaj Samadhi meditation, you get a personal mantra, and you're taught how to meditate with that mantra. And this mantra is like a delete button. If you have a computer and you have 100 gigabytes of memory on the computer, and if you have used up all the 100 gigabytes, how will the computer function? It's slow, right? It's the same thing with our mind. We have accumulated so many impressions about the past. Someone has said something, someone happened to you, and because of those impressions, we are not able to function fully and be fresh in this moment. And the mantra that you get in the Sahaj Samadhi meditation course, as I said, it's like a delete button. It deletes those unwanted impressions. And when those unwanted impressions go away, you're fresh in this moment. And everything is so scientific. There's so much science behind. We don't have time to discuss all those things today on the webinar, but there's so much science behind how the whole thing functions and what it does. So that's what that's what the meditation practice. It makes you fresh, because ask anyone who meditates regularly, one thing they'll definitely share, that when they come out of it, they feel so fresh. And not only fresh, I always tell people that somebody who meditates every day, there's one additional benefit of meditating every day. That is, you become lucky when you meditate every day. And there's, why I tell you how. There are, as per the ancient Ayurvedic science, there are three gunas or three modes that exist in our mind-body complex. And the first guna is called tamas. It's spelled as Tamas. You can actually Google it afterwards, the three gunas. So tamas is, at any given point of time, one of these gunas is dominant, or maybe in imbalance. So tamas is required. If you want to sleep in the night, that tamas is required. That is required. But when you have imbalance of tamas, what happens is that, anytime you're just sitting, you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling that sense of lethargy is in there, that drive to do anything is just not there. That is when the tamas is an imbalance. And we all, some point of time would have noticed that we want to do things, but just there's no drive or energy, just don't want to do much. There's lethargy. That's when that tamas is an imbalance. Yeah. The second guna that we have is called rajas. It is spelled as Rajas, rajas. So rajas is the activity. So if I want to get up from here, go from point A to point B, I need rajas in my system. Any activity, you need rajas. But when you have too much rajas, when you have imbalance of rajas, what happens is that physically, if you see sometimes someone is holding a pen and they'll keep clicking, tick 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 tick, or they're sitting, they'll keep moving, that the foot keeps moving, shaking. But that is that rajas imbalance in your body. And in your mind, when the rajas is an imbalance, what happens is that you keep getting a lot of thoughts. If any time you keep thinking, oh, my mind is bombarded with thoughts, you keep getting a lot of desires, you want to do this, do that, do this, do that, but you're not able to focus on any one thing. That is rajas imbalance. And the third guna is sattva. Sattva is that positivity in you, that sense of that happiness, of harmony, of that joy. You want to serve, that sense of doing something good. That is sattva. And when you meditate regularly, when you do the Sahaj Samadhi meditation, the sattva goes up. Your sattva really goes high. Yeah, you've observed that.
I've observed it.
Yeah. And when the sattva is high, the beauty about sattva being high is that when the sattva is high, anything you'll do with less efforts, you'll get more output. So, and what is luck? When we say someone is very lucky, it's mainly, they're not doing much in life, but they're getting so much out of it. And that is what, sattva does to you. It makes you lucky. You put less efforts, you get more out of life. So, that's what it brings. Meditation makes you fresh, makes you lucky. It makes you smart. So if you want to continue working hard, keep slogging in your life, keep just running around, then I would not recommend meditation for you. It is not for you. Yeah. So what else?
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's a good reminder, especially right now in my own life, to remember that I'm so busy, and that's exactly why I need to make time to meditate.
Exactly.
So this one, somebody asked, can meditation help me find a compatible partner?
Compatible partner. I would say absolutely. Why not? When you meditate, you're a happier person. You're more at peace. You're smart and you're independent. And I think anybody would like to be. When we are looking to have friends around us, or looking for a partner, we look for someone who's happy, someone who's peaceful, and those are the attributes that anybody and everybody would admire, and that's what meditation does to you. Yeah, but more than that, I would say the best thing that the meditation does to you is that, as I said earlier, it makes you accept who you really are. It brings you an acceptance of who you are. It brings you in harmony with who you are, and I think that's the real thing. When you're in love with yourself, it's such a beautiful thing. And that is what this meditation does for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it brings to you. And every time I talk about the meditation course with people, there are three kinds of people that I encounter. The first type of people are, Shalin, this is great, sign me up. I can really use this. When I first heard about this meditation course, I was in that category that, sign me up, this is good. Yeah. And the second category of people are like, this sounds so cool. I want to learn meditation. Maybe sometime in spring, maybe sometime next summer, or I'll do it in future. When the planets align, I'll do my meditation course. Yeah. So sometime in future, I'll do the meditation course. And the third kind of people that I encounter is that, this course is perfect. Meditation is perfect for my wife, for my boss, for my neighbor, but not for me. I don't need these things. So I tell you, I teach these workshops almost every week. Every time when I teach this, someone or the other comes to me and shares that, Shalin, I'd heard about meditation 6 years ago, and I thought that, eventually I'll do it. I'll come to it. And since then, 6 years have passed. In these 6 years, I've been through so many hardships. I've been through so many tough times. Had I had these tools, had I done my meditation, and had I been practicing this thing, I would have gone through those tough times with so much more grace.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But instead, now I have blood pressure, I have cholesterol, I have migraines, I have asthma, whatnot. So this meditation, this practice, there's never going to be a perfect time for you to do it. You have to prioritize this for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to prioritize your own well-being. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize your own health. Yes. Because, when you're happy, you can make people around you happy. There's a saying, right, that you cannot do charity with an empty bowl. So if you want to make people around you happy, the first thing you do is start meditating. How we take shower every day, that is bodily hygiene. We brush our teeth every day, that is dental hygiene. And when we meditate every day, that is a mental hygiene. And it is about time, we put attention on the mental hygiene. Our mind is something which is with us all the time. Even when you're sleeping, your mind is there and it's running. So it's about time we give some attention, put some attention to our mind. And the best way of doing this thing is to learn meditation, start practicing meditation every day. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm sure you'll see that in the comment section also of this Facebook Live event. We have this amazing courses coming up this next weekend. It's called the Sahaj Samadhi meditation course. Come, just go, come try it out, just do it, and you won't regret it. Yeah. Thank you, Kelsey. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing all of that.
Yeah.
It's been really great.
Okay.
Thanks for joining in, you guys. Have a great evening.
Thanks, everyone.